Guys, you won't believe what came in today. Oh, right. It's our first fan letter. Yep, finally people can send in their complaints, express their love for me, send us fan art, and it's just some guy asking for Pikmin 4. The Nintendo Switch is an amazing console, and one that will truly stand the test of time. I'm sure everyone's sang their praises to you now about how much they love the thing, but let's just say there's a reason why I haven't popped the question yet. Don't get me wrong, the Switch is an amazing library of exclusive and multi-platform games, but there's a few that could be added that would make it truly spectacular in my eyes. I mean, what kind of loser who speaks about video games on the internet would I be if I didn't make at least one video whining about how much I want Buzz the Schools Quiz to come to the Switch? Now, these aren't games I'm desperate for, nor do I even expect them to come out at all. I'm not going to be yelling in the live chat of a Nintendo Direct about them anytime soon. These are just some wacky-tacky concepts for Switch games that I think would be pretty neat. Remember that one time Nintendo unveiled Amiibo? They were these really cool Toys to Life figures that looked just like real-life versions of the Smash Bros. Trophies, and they told us that they would be compatible with a ton of games to unlock super cool rewards. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that one. Amiibo were cool for like 20 minutes when you realized you could essentially make Smash Bros. Jesus, but the other games boiled down to costumes or in-game items that you could get normally without the Amiibo anyways. These are just taking up shelf space for me. They're cool to look at, sure, but I think many people, myself included, would love to see these guys get their own designated video game. We saw a little bit of this with Mini Mario and Friends for the Wii U and 3DS, which was a free-to-play Mario vs. Donkey Kong game where you were able to scan in Mario series Amiibo to play exclusive levels centered around what character you pick, but we've yet to get an actual full-scale adventure spanning the entire Amiibo line of figures, not just sticking to one series. Now what this game could be, I don't know. They could always go for the Skylanders route and make each Amiibo act as sort of a continue. Once they die in the game, you have to switch to a new one and have the game possibly play something like the Subspace Emissary. Or they could bring the Dynasty Warriors guys back and make an Amiibo Warriors, where you have each Amiibo be a fighter capable of mowing down enemies. Or they could go the free-to-play model again and take an existing game and add an Amiibo spin, completely free to download as long as you have the Amiibo to play with. There's plenty of options here, which is why you can't really predict what an Amiibo game would be. Everyone has their own idea of what they'd want out of such an idea, which is why I'm just sticking to saying a game featuring all the Amiibo as the main focus would be pretty neat. The 3DS, it's pretty banging. It birthed so many great franchises that all died with the system, except for Box Boy, because where would we be without Box Boy? Hey Deeps, you down for a game of Box Boy? Yeah, I don't know. That's a future I hate to imagine. Some of these franchises deserve to be given a second lease of life on the Switch, but I think none of them would be cooler than Codename Steam. This was a tactical RPG set in a Victorian steampunk-inspired world where Abraham Lincoln sets up a worldwide task force to stop a looming alien invasion. And if that sounds weird enough, at one point Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz shows up through a portal, and then 3 of your teammates are revealed to be the Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow, and you go and protect the Emerald City from aliens. Also, Tom Sawyer's in it. And then Moth just kind of shows up. This game is insane, and I kind of love it. It was severely overlooked on the 3DS, possibly due to it being a brand new, fairly large in scale tactical RPG IP launched on a system with a very casual audience at the time. But I think giving this game a sequel on the Switch, expanding on the wackiness, could be the push this series needs to get its footing and become a full-blown franchise of games. Heck, even a remake of the game would probably help out. It's not like anyone played the thing anyways. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has grown to become close to be, if not my favorite Mario Kart. With the amount of content here, you could probably make this your forever Mario Kart, never having to pick up another entry in the series. But that's not enough, damn it, I won't Wiggler! Whilst I would just be happy with them releasing more content updated to 8D like they did with the Breath of the Wild content, I think many people, myself included, would like to see what a Mario Kart 9 has in store. I mean, personally, I'd be happy with Mario Kart 9 just using 8's engine, simply just with a track and roster shakeup. But there's so much more that can be done with a new entry. There's so many characters in the Mario series yet to be represented as characters in Mario Kart. And with Mario Kart Tour adding in so many costumes for these characters, think of all the skins that could be added to each character on the roster. And that's not even touching the multitude of new tracks there could be. What if there was a track where you tour all of Isle Delfino, with the final lap taking place in Pinner Park, similar to the Woohoo Island stages of Mario Kart 7? Or how about a stage where you go through a bunch of paintings from Mario 64? For new modes, you could bring back the mission mode, add in some rival races, or even bring back Double Dash as its own separate mode. Mario Kart 9 could be something really cool. But there's a big elephant in the room I'm not addressing here. You see, with Mario Kart 8 came some particularly odd inclusions. those being non-Mario characters and non-Mario content. Sure, we've had elements of this here and there in the series before, with things like Rob in Mario Kart DS, the Blue Falcon in Mario Kart Wii, and the aforementioned Woohoo Island tracks of Mario Kart 7, but 8's DLC added Link, Villager, and Isabelle as playable characters, along with matching tracks based on their respective series, and 8 Deluxe added the Inklings from Splatoon with their own battle mode map too. It wasn't a lot, sure, but these small droplets of non-Mario content in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe gave people hope for a purely Nintendo-based kart racer. A Super Smash Kart, or Nintendo Kart if you will. Now if this happens, I can see them staying purely first party, meaning we probably won't be seeing characters like Kirby or Pikachu, but that still leaves loads of potential for characters, tracks, and karts. Samus Aran from Metroid, Captain Falcon from F-Zero, and Olimar from Pikmin. Heck, you could even just bring back Rob as he was in Mario Kart DS. And imagine being able to zip through the caves of Legend of Zelda, the creepy alien planets of Metroid, the lush landscapes of Pikmin as the microscopic size of Captain Olimar himself. It's a concept that at the very least deserves a thought, as there's tons of potential for what this game could be like. Now if this were to become a reality, I have a feeling the roster would be very safe. You got your Luigis, your Ganondorfs, etc. I wouldn't get your hopes up for someone like the Labo VR default player model to make an appearance. But even with a safe roster, there's so much here to please fans. And imagine if they did go second party, so we could have characters like Red from Pokemon, Waddle Dee from Kirby, and dare I even say Chibi Robo? They've already proven that non-Nintendo franchises can have a place in the Mario Kart formula, so I think it's worth exploring the idea further in its own full game. Please, Nintendo, oh my god! The Miis have to be one of my favorite things to come out of Nintendo. The fact that their avatars leave just so much room for wacky hijinks and yelling your mum into the room to say, "Look, that's me in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing." Whilst in the Wii and 3DS days, the Miis had a multitude of games and appearances under their belt. Nowadays, they're pretty much nothing more than Switch icons and Smash Bros characters, and that's really sad. I'm definitely in the boat that thinks a new Mii game is in order for the Switch, but not just any Mii game, a Mii game in the style of Tomodachi Life and Miitopia. These were simulation games for the 3DS that allowed the Miis to fill a series of roles, and the fun came from the different interactions Miis would have with each other and the strange scenarios they'd find themselves in. Then Miitopia took that concept, put it into an RPG setting, and randomized it by retrieving other people's Miis through the internet, creating an entirely new wacky RPG adventure each time you played. What if we combine these elements together, as well as adding a little more player interaction, and I present to you Tomodachi World. Imagine a game where you take control of your own Mii as you gradually build a city for other completely randomized Miis to inhabit. There could be several happiness tasks and quests to do for Miis, which could then add to an overall meter, which over time develops your city and brings in more Miis. Each Mii would have their own profiles and personality traits just like Tomodachi Life, which you can then interfere with certain items and conversations to persuade Miis into doing certain things. There could be an online quest mode you can play with friends, functioning similarly to Miitopia, along with being able to visit your friends' cities and interact with all their Miis too. All of this, as well as adding the overall wackiness and odd scenarios Tomodachi Life was known for, and we could have the ultimate Mii game on our hands. Granted, the content doesn't get stale over time. This is without a doubt one of my dream games, and although it's never gonna happen, let me have this, man. This game sounds cool. That's just a few Switch games that I think would be neat if they came out. Like I stated before, I'm not desperate for these games, nor do I expect them to come out in any capacity. It's just always fun to conceptualize outlandish pipe dream video games every now and then and wonder what they would be like if they were to be actually made. One thing's for sure, whatever Nintendo has in store for the Switch in the coming years, it's for sure gonna be pretty neat.